Okay, it is Wednesday, May 6th, 2015, and it's taken me a while to get really settled, adjust to the change in altitude, to really start making videos. And that's my goal. My goal is to return to making regular videos covering both news, things that are taking place in the world, and also providing some social commentary right here at this desk in the RV that I've been driving in, that I've owned for 3 to 4 weeks. It was about that time that I left Portland, Oregon. Now, at the moment, I'm somewhere in South Colorado. I'm outside of Alamosa by a few hours. I'm close to the San Luis Valley. I'm hours from Denver, south of that area. So this is an adventure for me. Getting acclimated to doing videos on the road. I've got a decent setup. I'm a lot better situated than how I was situated in Portland, with the 1985 Toyota truck pulling the micro teardrop camper, which cost about $1,200 to build. That includes the price for the solar panels, which I have brought with me on this adventure. So right now I'm kind of in a mix of urban and rural, and later on I may be a little bit more off the grid. Right now my life's pretty fluid. And so the name of the game is to adjust to a fluid lifestyle during what's becoming a warmer part for this time of year in Colorado, while covering the news and fulfilling other online obligations. I'm actually turning in a weekly OTB TV encompassing some of the updates, some of the recent YouTube videos since I've left Portland. Mostly driving footage. Pretty much after talking quite a bit about some of my troubles, I'm also enjoying showing people my liberation, my freedom, the adventure that I'm having. I want to talk a little bit about some tips maybe for living in an RV. This is new to me, but a lot of these also are valuable to the person that's on the go living in their vehicle, be it a van, be it a truck, be it a trailer. It's very difficult to not have a vehicle and be totally mobile. You can, but that's a little bit outside of my field and expertise. Something like this has a certain sense of responsibility. You don't want to lose it. You don't want it to break down. You don't want it to get towed by the police or someone else because it doesn't have insurance. So there's a little bit of focus that needs to go into something like this. At the same time, it also saves someone a lot of money when it comes to rent and when it comes to other things. I avoid the RV FEMA camps. And what I refer to RV FEMA camps are those places where they try to tell the RVs to go over here and get a hookup, $15 a day, $25 a day. It's like the idea is to be self-sufficient. Okay, so I don't need to hook up anywhere. There is a bathroom here, but somebody shouldn't have to be unloading it at every stop. It depends on how much it's being used. Wi-Fi, it helps to have Wi-Fi. But when you have your own Wi-Fi, and I'm still exploring better options for that, you don't need someone else's lot. More or less, they like to keep all the RVs together, so you have these RV parks around America, and I'm not really interested in it. Um, Tips for stealth parking. There's lots of videos on YouTube that have popped up, whatever your vehicle is. In an RV like this, I feel like I blend in a little bit more. Definitely more than that pickup truck pulling that micro camper. So in a way, this is more of a stealth camper, even though it's obviously a camper. One thing I'd like to do is maybe upgrade the curtains at some point, get a little bit more privacy, change this out. This is slightly damaged, but it still works. And I've parked at a lot of parking lots since leaving Portland. And I don't feel that something like this really draws a whole lot of attention. And what I do is I pay attention to the cues in my environment. How many other motorhomes am I seeing coming through that town? And in Alamosa, I noticed there were people that came through in motorhomes, but people didn't hang out in Alamosa. Alamosa is kind of a rough edge or vibe to it. So people would come through, get their supplies at the supermarket, park in the parking lot, get a little bit of rest, but they usually didn't stay. Again, a lot of people prefer these RV FEMA camps or rather RV parks. And I can understand wanting to rest. For me personally, it is draining, yes, feeling like I'm constantly on the go, but I feel like I'm going through a sense of training, getting better at it. Specifically, in those experiences of being on the go, maintaining basic hygiene to the best of my ability at the moment, basic nutrition, exercise. So I was pumping iron at a gym in Portland, Oregon, and showering at a place in Northwest Portland called Friendly House. They didn't even have private showers, but some of the homeless men that used that facility respected each other and didn't shower when the other one was in there. Some didn't respect. Again, some did. It was a place where I had to go to shower in Portland, and I made that one of my grounding spots. They also had some public computers, and I would use it for maybe an hour or two. I was somewhat miserable, but so damn grateful to be able to wash the dirt off my body, have a good workout, and the ladies there, like, this guy obviously he has something going on in his mind, body, and spirit. Why is he homeless? Or why is he on hard times? You know, with my torn clothing at all, and sometimes that broken spirit in my eyes early in the morning. I have been through a lot before this particular moment in time. In another video, I probably should reflect on a lot of my experiences in Portland. In that video, reflect from a calmer point of not being in Portland and not being all jacked up emotionally at the time of making the video. But in reflection, to really reflect on my time in Portland in this last year and maybe share some stories that I never shared. The fact is, I feel like everything has been building up to this, and I've been wanting to do a video on basic tips for men on the go, people on the go. So whether it's an RV or a small vehicle, you know, parking in a new spot every couple of days, not attracting attention to yourself, not partying, not bringing over, hey, buddy, yeah, we're free. You know, if you're going to do stuff like that, best go somewhere else. I don't shave every day, and I've mentioned when I don't shave, I can look pretty ethnic. I can look pretty raw. Today I just had a fresh shave, and there's basic ways you can maintain your hygiene on the go without a conventional shower. I do have a shower here. I haven't started using it, but there are ways, you know, using wash rags, finding restrooms where you can lock the door, making use of baby wipes. Coconut oil is good. I just started doing that again after a while of not doing it for clean out the toxins in the body. A lot of them accumulate in the mouth. So when you do an coconut oil swish with your mouth, it pulls those toxins that have accumulated in your mouth. You spit it out in a toilet or in a garbage can. It's recommended because it can get hard and clog the pipes. Basic health, basic hygiene, getting enough sleep, getting enough water. I don't recommend drinking on the road. I haven't. I've had very little alcohol consumption in this adventure. Smoking cigarettes obviously is not a healthy thing to do. I've struggled with that. So far, I've got another week under my belt. There's less oxygen at this higher altitude. Now I'm at 6,000 feet. I've dropped down 1,800 feet, where I currently am in this southern Colorado town, where I'm resting for a few days to a few weeks. And so I've been really aware of the changes in my energy, and also periods of time where I'm moving during a solar flare. And again, I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I've seen time and time again so many connections between when I'm moving and when there's a major solar flare. Not just myself moving, but others as well. So it's important to maintain a positive demeanor, to be working towards something. When someone's on the go, either live in their vehicle or in an RV. For myself, it's been alternative media. And I've also asked other people to let me know who else is doing alternative media on the road from their RV. So I've checked out RV Prepper and Nomad Fanatic, and I think some of their stuff's entertaining. And I see that there's this whole world of men that love to just comment about what other men are doing and calling them names and being really judgmental and developing these obsessions with them, and having experienced that myself. I think that there's a better use of YouTube than some of the man soap operas. Some people are stirring the pot that some people are really, really into. I find it entertaining to a point. There's a point where I shut off and I'm seeing mental illness. I've watched a series of Nomad Fanatics videos. I find them entertaining. I found some of them a little bit depressing, but entertaining, but depressing, and back and forth. I like sharing with you some of my personal experiences, but I also personally want to get back to the news and covering social commentary. And I look at some of the videos that have done really well talking about relationships in the modern day and age, and that's definitely something that I'm going to return my focus towards. I want to master personally the art of making quality videos on the go and set an example. Other people may have their own personal passions when they're living out of their vehicles or their vans. Some people are artists. Some people are drummers in bands. Some people are actors. Some people edit video. Whatever your craft is, the thing is your time is money. And when someone has all the time in the world to work on their craft, you can master your craft. You can master that book. You can do what previously you thought you couldn't do when you said you didn't have the time. So it creates the space, as I've created my space, for deeper self-mastery. Now, what I've learned from my own personal experiences, having to answer to somebody, having some form of responsibility can keep you sharp. To be goal-oriented and not be lax on your laurels, or how that saying goes, to not get lazy. Okay, I'm off the grid, or I'm living out of my vehicle. I've got some food, I have a couple sodas or a couple juices, got some entertainment, got some Netflix, and some people, can end up vegging out on the experience of just being able to do that. And there comes a certain point in time where you have to change things up and you have to challenge yourself. So one of the people that I have to answer to is a particular website where I post news to. And entering into this partnership with someone else a couple months ago, before I even left Portland, and getting a slight kickback from my work really helped discipline me to a certain level. In the darkest of days, in the hardest of times, keep working towards something. Use my computer, use my tools. They're not just entertainment devices or things. Look at that. That's going on in the world. Oh, that's really intense, and I've kept up to date with what's going on in Baltimore. And I've kept up to date with what's going on with Jade Helm. And I've kept pursuing my freedom at the same time as well. I haven't let those things rent total space in my mind, because that's one thing I've learned in my adventures and my travels. You got to be in the driver's seat consciously when it comes to what you're focusing on, when it comes to what you're doing. And it's important to be aware of certain things, but also certain people let the awareness of certain aspects of those reality completely dominate all aspects of their own personal reality. So they cease to create. They're just in a catacombic, oh my God, I'm freaked out mode. And when you're in a freaked out mode, you're not moving forward. I'm not moving forward when I'm in that mode. And so having that awareness, I've kept an awareness of what's going on, and I've been posting news to this website, to this blog. Meanwhile, I'm in an RV and I'm traveling the country with no final known destination. I had it all in my mind that I was going to be going to this one particular plot, and something didn't feel right about that particular area. It was too close to the freeway. I had helicopters flying right over, one in particular. But in previous days in the San Luis Valley, in the Rio Grande Ranches, I had seen a number of aircraft, in particular fighter jets, over there. And other people have seen pretty crazy stuff. These are helicopters with the guns mounted on them. So they train for operations in Afghanistan, and potentially they're training for operations domestically at some point in this country. I don't necessarily want to be underneath that. So I rethought my plans of going to that particular plot, as perfect as it seemed at the time. And in a way it is, if I was with a few trusted friends. But until that happens, where there's a group of people that can watch each other's stuff and make sure it's not stolen, I am not going to be going to that plot. So I've had to learn how to be flexible. And a friend gave me some, advice before leaving Idaho, to keep my plans flexible because things may change. And so for me, this experience has been about keeping it positive, goal-oriented, in this case, bringing you videos on a regular basis, even though I don't have great personal internet. I'm on a limited plan, making use of internet sources when I'm at those locations, be they public Wi-Fi hotspots or other places, and trying to basically maintain a positive demeanor as I see the general social decay and what is of mass consciousness everywhere I go, wherever there are gatherings of people, wherever there are Walmarts, wherever there are gas stations. You're going to get that same attitude. I'm getting that same attitude everywhere. And so the challenge for me is maintain that sense of strength. I mean, peace came to mind first, but also maintain that personal strength in a world where negativity just doesn't do the word justice. There's a lot of weakness out there that doesn't really understand strength. That's one of the reasons I'm trying to focus a lot more of my attention on sharing my knowledge and information in these videos and pulling back from dealing with so many people physically in my own world. That was the main reason I left Portland, and that's why I'm grateful that I'm not there. I may be triggered by certain songs that want to bring back something nostalgic. That's all human psychology, and I address that. There's no reason for certain love songs and certain wonderful songs that I've grown up listening to for everything to be in association with the past or a city. And a lot of us are kind of trapped into that longing of going back to the way things were, when in reality we need to be thinking about what we need to be creating and where we need to be, which is fully in our body, in the here and now. And that's something that I try to remind myself time and time again. There is no going back. There is no looking back. There is only moving forward. And my, oh my, have I gone a long way. One thing that I fell back on every now and then, the teardrop camper and the vehicle, is things getting dirty, things getting messy. And while I haven't perfected the art of perfect hygiene and or cleanliness, I see that there's some dishes I have to do. I bought a broom, and I've been using that broom. And I have a couple forms of cleaner, a couple paper towels, and a couple other things. Got a garbage can, and I've taken out little bits of garbage at a time to prevent it from building up. And I've tried to keep any bad smells from developing, from letting anything go bad. And I'm going to go over the refrigerator next. So keeping things clean, the personal body clean, the living space clean, trying to get in the habit of, when I pull out the camera's over here. When I pull out the bed, to put things away, things of that nature, to keep moving. I was feeling really stuck in Alamosa, and filling out the vibes there and getting kind of a deeper understanding of what's going on in that town that is a drug problem, a gang problem, and many different police jurisdictions, county, state, city, all being very busy with their business in the city of Alamosa. I don't want to be around that. But I thought that I should really wait for a couple of days to really determine that there wasn't anything close for me nearby. So sometimes in a matter of minutes, it just so happened to coincide with the solar flare. But just a matter of minutes to a few hours, I'm like, you know what? I really need to move forward. I'm already living mobily in this RV, using public Wi-Fi spots, constantly on the go. I have the means to another location. And that's just what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. So along the way, I have noticed the changes in energy in all these different places, all these different roads that I've been on, from Oregon to Idaho, to Utah, to Colorado, the different vibes I get from the people. But that sense that humans today have colonized some ancient land, being the United States. A lot of things have happened here. A lot of people are colonizing and living on land. They know nothing about its history and the energies that are running through these places. And there's a reason why they have rest areas in certain areas where they're like, hey, if you're feeling like falling asleep, you better pull over. Be alert. There's a reason why people, are going through that. It's not just that they've been on the road for a while. There's something about certain spots where they have to be alert. There's something about those areas. And I was feeling that major shift in energy in Eastern Oregon. Boom, within a few miles, saw a sign saying they had crossed the 45th parallel. 45th parallel. which crosses through, I believe, several major cities, if I have that correct. And I was just thinking about like an energy portal that connects the major cities. I'm thinking about this, then I'm seeing the sign. So, in terms of seeing signs, I've seen a number of signs, to me, that confirm there are various energy portals, major differences in energy at the very least, in these cities, regions, places in our country and on our planet. There's been a friend in Portland that's been encouraging me to continue submitting programs to Outside the Box or to PCM TV. And that's one thing that I'm going to be working on in the next couple of hours, the next couple of days. Trying to relieve myself of any sense of needing to rush anywhere. Being in the moment, overcoming limited thinking, for the most part, living a clean lifestyle to the best of my ability, creating goals on a regular basis. For example, today, creating a goal that I would create this video, upload it, do some of the other things that I have to do online, some of the news postings to amtvmedia.com under the headline section. I'm thinking about launching a whole new website. One thing that I haven't come up with is a name for it. And it's not going to be alexansary.tv, but that is going to be news soon. I'll have a whole new website where it's going to be all news all the time. alexansary.tv will get a remodel at some point, and that's going to be my content only. So that I'm going to be running more than one website. And so all this is exciting. The synchronistic clues, the journeys, the manifestations, putting it out there that I want to leave Portland, and then bam, a matter of time, having the means, and then physically being out of Portland in a pinch myself moment going, okay, I'm back in the San Luis Valley. And then going, okay, I really do need to be flexible with this, because that plot of land, it's not necessarily my end destination. I meant to continue what I'm doing on the road and become more fluid at doing this on the go without having to set roots into one particular spot, but doing what I'm doing on a regular basis on the go. And so it's a major learning, growing, evolutionary experience for you truly. And I appreciate sharing with you some of the highlights and aspects of the journey itself. This is Alex Ansary signing off from somewhere in South Colorado. We'll see you next time.